Okay, Jackson and Kath are going to play a game of Multo. The first thing we have to do is fill in the 4x4 grid with 16 numbers that will come up if I roll 2 six-sided dice. So Jackson, what would be the largest number that would come up if we rolled 2 six-sided dice?
12 would be the largest number.
It would be if we added it. I forgot to say we're supposed to be multiplying the 2 dice. So if we multiply them, what would be the largest number?
36.
And what would be the smallest number?
2.
If we multiply the 2.
One.
Yeah, okay. So would I, by chance, get the number 13 if I multiplied those 2 numbers that were on the top of the dice?
No.
Would I be able to have 7 if it was on top of the dice?
No.
No. So if I rolled a 5 and a 2, what would my answer be?
10.
If I rolled a 6 and a 6, what would my answer be?
36.
And what would my answer be if I rolled a 5 and a 5?
25.
Okay, so our task now is to write down 16 numbers. You are allowed to use any number 3 times. So if you decide you want to put 1 3 times, you can do that. And then you might choose to put 9 3 times, your choice. So any number can be used up to 3 times, except when we roll the dice, you will only be crossing off 1 at a time. Okay, Jackson, I noticed you have a range of numbers. You have 2 12s. 3 12s. Why did you choose to write 3 12s?
Because I know that there is different combinations of 2 dices that can multiply towards 12.
Such as?
3 and 4, and 6 and 2.
Fantastic. So on mine, I've also chosen 12 3 times for the same similar reasons that I knew that there were a few factors. So now we're going to see who wins. So normally, if I was doing this with a class of children, as the teacher, I would have control. So I'd be rolling the dice, and I would say something along the lines as 3 6s, 18. I actually say the 2 numbers and the product or the answer. So if you have an 18, we can cross off an 18. And in this case, neither of us have an 18. So we'll roll Jackson, you roll the dice this time. So read out the 2 numbers.
4.
So you've got 4 times 1, which is 4.
And I've got a 4.
And I have a 4, so we can both cross a 4 off. Now to win this game, we are looking for 4 in a row or the 4 corners. Okay, so my turn again. 3 1s are 3. So I have a 3. I don't think Jackson does. So I have 2 crossed off my list, but they're not in a line.
And I got another 4.
Okay, so in this case, if you'd had more than 1 4, you could have crossed off a second 4. 5 1s are 5, so I've crossed off 5 off mine. I now have 2 in one of my rows, in 2 rows, a row and a column.
And 2. I have a 2, so I can cross that off.
I have a 2. So at the moment I have 3 numbers crossed off. So I'm hoping that the next roll would be 4 times 5 to make it 20. I have 4. We've got 4 1s again, so 4. Neither of us can cross that off.
6.
So rolled it 3 2s are 6. I have a 6. Doesn't help much. 3 4s are 12. Now we can cross off one of our 12s. And you can only cross 1 off. Don't try and get enthusiastic and cross off more than 1.
Another 12.
Another 12. So looking at yours, Jackson, what are you hoping to roll next?
A 24 or a 10.
Okay, so let's see what we have. In fact, we've rolled 6 times 6, which is 36. Jackson can cross his off, but I don't have 1 to cross off. Oh, Jackson, I think it might be your go. Okay, we have 5 times 6, which is?
30.
And, oh, you're getting a bit close there. Next one I rolled is 2 times 1, which is 2.
And I have that as again.
Oh, your turn.
So I'm looking for an 8 or a 20.
And I'm still looking for I'm looking for an 8 also, and a 20.
And we've got
Both 8. So I have my column, Jackson has a row. What a friendly game. We've both ended up with the same, we've both got one with Multo.
Yes.
So the next step would be that we might choose another 16 numbers, having rolled those 2 dice, and we can play it. We could use 10-sided dice, but just means the numbers we can choose from would change. Thank you, Jackson.